Alright, hey YouTube, this is not live because there's been weird issues with live lately. Again, I've had a few videos where I thought it was good, because one video was good, but then I had a few videos where it was cut off and whatnot, and not live. This is just going to be uploaded after I record this on my phone. I wanted to take a little bit of time just to talk to you guys about how I'm planning to make videos on this channel better. What I'm planning to do in that regard. There's going to be a little bit of irony here in a minute. Just, I don't know. Just what my plans are, how I want to improve upon things, because I've already made great improvements. But number one, here's where the irony comes in. Number one is scripts. This video isn't scripted, and there are going to be a number of videos that won't be scripted. Like, Let's Talk is probably never going to be scripted. That I do spend some time before I record the Let's Talk. A couple of weeks or months before, I'm thinking about that topic, and so when I do a Let's Talk on it, it's just my candid thoughts. Almost like me having a live conversation with somebody, but not live. I'm the only one there doing it. And so, yeah, and boy, YouTube fixed the live thing okay. I use it quite a bit. It saves me some time. I mean, it's not too bad if I have to, record the video and then upload it. I think battery usage might be a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. So, yeah, scripts is one thing that I'm going to do. Unboxings is another thing that won't be scripted, because, I kind of can't script that. And I use unboxings mainly as a means to look at something for the first time. These are my first impressions. I'm hoping that I will find ways of making them a little more polished and be able to think quicker and stuff like that, because there are plenty of unboxers on YouTube, like Unbox Therapy. His are a little more polished, but I'm sure there's a little more plan going into it. Mine's just, I got a package. I want to open it up for the first time and get my first impressions. Go. That's literally the plan for unboxings. But more scripted stuff will come. I actually am planning to do a scripted review of the V-Moda Crossfade 2 wireless that I got myself for my birthday. Well, and my parents helped with that too, helped paying for that. I want to do a scripted review of that. There's a few other things I might do scripted reviews of. Start scripting more videos. Just in general, I'm smelling like some Mexican food, which there is a Spanish family that lives back behind me. Probably coming from them. Smells good, making me a little bit hungry. Gonna go home and get some good stuff to eat there. But yeah, more scripted stuff is one of the plans that I want to do. Just, I don't know. It'll make things a lot better. Of course, short films have always been pretty much kind of had to be scripted. And I actually really realized the importance of a script when I worked on Airborne Death and, keeping everybody on the same page and all of that stuff. But even outside of that, videos I'm doing just myself, there's going to be a lot more scripting and thoughtfulness going into them to make them better, which, I'm excited for. I'm actually kind of excited to be able to sit down and write a little plan and then have something just off camera to read to get rid of all the ums and what about this and, oh, I completely forgot to mention this. Which, that was a thing that kind of plagued me. I did some review-style videos years ago that I never actually uploaded. The problem was, two problems. One problem is that I would, I would do a review of an item. I'd talk about it, share my thoughts, non-scripted. And then after I was done recording, oh, I forgot about this. So, turn the camera on again. I completely forgot about this. This is going to be awkwardly inserted after the goodbye. Here's what I forgot. We're done. Great. Did I forget anything else? Nope. And then, now I have to mix two clips together in my editor. I don't really want to do that. I just wanted to upload this straight to YouTube. And then it wouldn't get uploaded, which is probably for the best. Because also, the time period that this was really taking place, I thought you had to, review everything. That was my opinion of it. So, if I reviewed my phone, I would go into every single menu of every single app and all of the settings and literally everything. And show you everything. And if I missed something, then I did a terrible job. Or it was something that I just missed over because there's like literally thousands of settings, including all of the settings inside of the apps and stuff. My goodness, no. That would be pretty horrible, and I don't do reviews like that anymore. I'm more thoughtful, especially after watching other people. I mean, it makes total sense to me now that they don't go through all the settings. Like, they tell you about the hardware. They show you how good the camera is, how speedy the phone is, stuff like that. And, you know, maybe if there's some mentionable tweaks to Android that are extra special settings, they'll mention those. But other than that, most people know what Android is and whatnot, so, yeah. Oh, I just got a thank you from a friend for getting him a gift. I'll say what this one is. Basically at the dollar store, like, we just had wham. All of a sudden, we got a few DVDs of a One Direction concert, and I know that he likes One Direction, and so I'm like, oh, he'd like this, so I bought it for him. So, yeah, anyways. Another thing that I'm going to try and do is, with the scripting, well, speed things up. There will be less ums and thinking. I'm going to try scripting my cooking show, too. I think that will be nice, and we'll be blocking out the shots as well. So that's the big thing. But I'm also going to be, I'm going to be using a lot of the skills that I've learned over the years. And that's especially with short films, where I really see easy spots to try different camera angles and movements. But once we start talking about some of the other videos, like the unboxings and reviews, it's mostly talking head, just me sitting there. So there are other shots that I could include. I am probably going to get B-roll shots to throw in that review of the V-Moto Crossfade 2 wireless, rose gold edition. So probably going to get some B-roll for that. What am I thinking of? Oh yeah. But there are some things like that where there's not a lot of chance to get various camera angles because most of it's just talking. So I do want to do more short films to really try out these camera angles and stuff that I've learned. I feel like a lot of this stuff, for me, it feels like it mostly applies to short films with the way that I want to do them. I don't want to spend a lot of post on the reviews and things, but I'm going to actually make that an effort and do it. I mean, there was a while where I had the idea to do a random reviews series. This would have been absolutely horrible if I did. But it's like, I want to get better at reviewing. So what do? Well, you review stuff. And as you do it, you find new ways of talking faster and getting your point across and just getting better at it. You learn by doing, right? So why don't I do a random review series where it's like, oh, today I'm going to review the dishwasher. Next week, I might as well go review the clothes washer. How about I review the light bulbs? Just pick random stuff around the house and give it a review. And they all would have been pretty trashy. No scripts, no nothing. So that's not happening, but there are going to be some reviews in the future. I don't know, and I'm finding reviews maybe aren't my thing. I'm not as big for unboxings and stuff like that. But it is something that I do want to do here and there. Especially with unboxings, like I mentioned earlier, they're an easy way to show you guys something that I want you to see. Especially if it's new equipment. I can just open up the box and say, hey, look, I got this new piece of equipment. So you can expect better stuff in the future. Another thing that's going to be improving as well is... Oh, what's the other thing? Now I forgot it, dang it. So we talked about scripting, camera angles and stuff. Lighting too is definitely improving. I've got, better lighting stuff, so I can do nice lighting setups. That's good. That one's a little bit less of a worry though too. But audio is a big area that is going to see an improvement. I have a Zoom H6. And I also have a, Zoom H6 and Rode NTG4 Plus. Very good equipment. There's still some things I need to learn about how to use them. Still some moments where I don't get quite desirable audio. I want to go talk to professionals and stuff. I think I read online somewhere that the Zoom H6 doesn't have a really clean gain on it. So I might need to get a small external preamp or something. But there is audio there, but I also really like my camera audio too for a lot of things. It sounds good as long as you're close. Like, seriously. The audio on my HX90V isn't bad. Even the audio on my phone isn't bad. It's good, especially just for talking. Now, if we were seriously talking about, like, recording sound effects and stuff, I feel, and I'm going to talk about this in a series on audio eventually, but I feel that's where you really start to worry about stuff, because the human voice is kind of in the middle of, like, the range of tones and stuff like that. But then once you get into recording different thuds and other sounds and piano and stuff, then you want something a little bit better. But for human voice, you know, this stuff like this is good enough. But I do have that, but I really like camera audio too, so I really have to decide when I actually want to pull out the boom pole and when I don't, which I kind of don't want to. Like, I would be happy almost just forgetting about the boom altogether, except for when I'm doing a short film. Those I feel like they should get a little bit of extra love and care. For other stuff, not really. I mean, but I did notice with the cooking show episode that I'm working on right now, a new one, that was just quickly last minute recorded. Some of the audio is not the greatest, but the camera was a little bit farther away too, and it was just sitting on a tripod there, so, you know. That one, there's no any audio inputs on the Sony HX90V, it's just a point-and-shoot camera. So if I do audio, it has to be external. In the future, it would be nice to have a camera where I can just have the audio synced up that way. But then, I don't know if but then, you know, you might want them separate. I might want the separate recorder. I don't know. That's something that I think would be very nice to have, save time. But also, I do recognize that sometimes, you know, you can't have a long wire running to the camera with where you got to place the boom operator holding the microphone. So you got to have a separate recorder. Well, there's also wireless too, which is an option that I might look into. But for now, I just picked a nice simple recorder, and it's been good for me. And so audio in that regards is good, but I gotta decide, do I really want to use it on stuff like the cooking show? Which I'm kind of leaning towards actually yes, as I'm recording this. Although, thinking about editing it in post is a bit annoying. Especially with some of the waveforms and the way that works out, because I can't really see the waveform from the recorder because it's so quiet. Why? Hopefully newer versions of Pinnacle Studio fix this, but, you know, the preamp is an option too that I might look into, get louder recordings in the first place, because I do have to turn everything up afterwards when I'm recording audio with that thing. But, I don't know. So, there will be definitely better audio in the future, at least, and it's also more so of me really thinking about how I go about doing the audio. Because the camera audio is not bad, it just kind of limits exactly where I can have the camera. So if I have the camera close enough to me, speak loud enough, stuff like that, avoid having background noise and stuff, then I should be good with the camera audio. But where I can't, you know, like the boom audio, you know, I don't know. I mean, and the other thing too that I got to think about too is I don't necessarily have boom workers and stuff like that. So like for the cooking show, I mean, you know, if I can bring a friend on to help film it, that would be really nice and great. But there might be instances where I just end up grabbing my mom and say, hey, can you help me film an episode of my cooking show? And so we do that, which is what I did in the past. And then it's like, but I don't know, I probably won't have somebody for boom. I could stick it on my mic stand, but even then, it's, you know, boom is an extra step that makes things tricky and tough. But I do want to try booming a little bit more often and figure out, also, it's kind of when to do that too. I mean, if I'm getting an up-close shot of the food sizzling in the pan, I'm probably going to just be perfectly happy with the audio that my camera captured. Don't need to do anything with the boom audio, you know. But if I'm, you know, talking, I might actually want the boom audio. So, wireless system would be nice. I don't have wireless right now, but I would love, you know, wireless. This is also a point where, kind of comes down to, there are some things where it's like, I don't want necessarily more gear. Like, the shotgun is great for short films, because then you don't have a mic clipped on them anywhere. It's perfect. You keep it out of frame. It's what most people use for short films. But then for the cooking show, I mean, it wouldn't look too bad to have a little mic clipped onto me with a wireless system recording it, you know. And for right now, I would probably be running into the, what's the word? Yeah, for right now, it would be running into the Zoom H6 that I have. But there are other instances where it would be, you know, eventually it would have it running into my camera, which would be nice when I get a nice camera like that. But it's just the thought of afterwards having to go in and actually sync them up together that's a little bit bothersome. It does add an extra step, but it is kind of fun. I kind of sort of enjoyed that during Airborne Death. So, yeah, better audio is a thing. Not as much as I'd probably like it to because of the extra step that it takes. But, you know, it's something to consider too, you know. Especially if I have very minimal cuts during my cooking show. But, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try and do that for my cooking show and make that show good. And, you know, I'll try and eke audio out better in a lot of places where I can. But, you know, still, good audio on my camera. So, I'll be doing that as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If any of the stuff that I said here sounds like it's going to be good and make things better, leave a like down below. And, you know, maybe if you just want to see a channel improve and you're new here, get subscribed. That's the thing that you can do. And yes, again, I recognize there's a little bit of irony with this being unscripted, but it's just a quick little video just talking about some of the ways that I plan to improve stuff here on my channel. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in whatever's next.